The gray light of dawn still hung above Pokrovsk streets when the frontline stirrings began to weave through the stillness. This city is no longer simply a point on a map. It is a frontline logistics node and a battlefield fragment. Today's field updates show that the fight has entered a distinct new phase. Coordinated strikes, drone-backed operations, armored destruction, and logistics under intense pressure. This morning's standout incident: a Ukrainian drone squadron identified a column of 2 Russian T-72 tanks advancing toward the city's eastern fringe. These tanks were carrying ammunition pallets and appeared backed by light escort vehicles. The drone wave delivered 3 precision strikes. The lead tank was destroyed instantly. The second suffered critical damage, and the crew was evacuated wounded. Immediately afterward, Russian infantry reinforcements were airlifted into the area by helicopter. But Ukrainian air defense and drone track systems intercepted the insertion, destroying 3 escort vehicles and a pallet of supplies mid-deployment. This episode underlines a broad shift in battlefield vulnerability. Armored logistics routes are no longer secure, and drones now play a decisive tactical role. Meanwhile, around Pokrovsk, Russian tactics are changing. Rather than full-scale armored pushes, Moscow is deploying small infiltration teams, often advancing at night, taking advantage of complex urban terrain. Open-source maps and think tank reports show Russian infantry groups emerging from the city's north, east, and south sectors, entering via residential blocks, seizing positions, and neutralizing Ukrainian focal points. Ukrainian sources report that supply routes are narrowing. Fuel and ammunition deliveries, which used to take 3 hours, now take 8 or more. Compressed rotation cycles have increased fatigue among infantry units. Drones that once served as surveillance are now precision weapon carriers, striking repair sites, fuel dumps, and communications nodes. Behind-the-scenes logistics hits that reduce operational tempo. These are the tactical details rarely seen in broad headlines, yet they determine momentum. Another striking shift: infrastructure warfare is in full force. Early today, the Volgograd region in Russia was hit in a drone attack involving approximately 75 unmanned aircraft. Ukraine reports that the CDU-5 main processing unit and a hydrocracker at a major refinery were damaged and production halted. Analysts estimate that the refinery's output equates to roughly a week's supply for Russian frontline fuel demands. This shows that Ukraine's strategy is targeting fuel, logistics, and mobility rather than just frontline positions. Russia, in return, is keeping up its campaign on Ukrainian ports, energy grids, and urban infrastructure, showing that the battlefield now extends deep into the hinterland. On the judicial diplomatic front, a court in Zaporizhzhia sentenced a captured Russian soldier to life imprisonment for killing a Ukrainian prisoner, a landmark move in Kyiv's drive to enforce international humanitarian law. The verdict is being portrayed by Ukraine as proof of legal accountability. Moscow is expected to challenge it. Such rulings affect prisoner exchange calculations, manpower morale, and the propaganda war just as much as bullets do. Summarizing today's operational picture reveals 4 interconnected axes. 1. Armored formations being taken out by drones. The era of safe tank columns is fading. 2. Infiltration and small unit urban tactics around Pokrovsk. The war is now fought block by block. 3. Infrastructure and logistics targets under attack. This is war through supply chain disruption. 4. Legal and procurement moves. Redefining the campaign's back end. Courts and finance ministers matter now. These threads combined tell us that the real story today is not just new lines of control, but the quiet cracks in logistics, the drone swarms overhead, the slowed convoys, and the fatigue of troops at the front. Smaller gaps now create bigger effects. The battlefield is no longer only the front line. It includes warehouses, rail sidings, finance desks, and courtroom dockets. What remains is this: even a minor gap today could transform into tomorrow's major breakthrough. Tomorrow, we'll track the next wave, whether the supply lines around Pokrovsk tighten further, how drones influence the skies, and what the legal diplomatic arena produces. Because the real fight is no longer for a city alone. It is for a geography, a people, and a timeline. And for now, every convoy delay, every drone sortie, and every court ruling counts.